Okay, welcome back to RADBMX Builds. This episode, we're doing something a little different. We're gonna take the Rolls-Royce Phantom over to Luke Air Force Base, the base I retired out of, and we're gonna take the 87 GT Performer out for a little photo shoot. So come along with me for a ride in the Rolls with the 87 GT Performer, and let's head over to the Air Force Base. Driving this car around is absolutely crazy. People lose their minds when they're next to you, trying to get a photo, trying to stare at it. I don't know what it is, but this car is just ridiculous. I got this car on Turo, and it's a rental. I've rented it for 2 days for my mom's 75th birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. In a couple hours, I'm coming to pick you up, and we're going to the Wrigley Mansion in Phoenix for dinner and live jazz music. But hey, to my BMXers here on YouTube, why not throw a bike in the back and make a video, right? If you had a car like this to drive, even if it's for your mom's birthday, how could you not get a bike and take it with you for some rad content? While I got it, let's have some fun with the Rolls-Royce. Let's go through a drive-through, get some coffee, and a few other little things we can get into with a big, obnoxious, expensive, flamboyant, over-the-top, ridiculous, but pretty sweet car. Okay, so we just pulled up to Dutch Brothers Coffee. We're in the drive-thru, which is a little hectic in a car this big, but the lady that took my order said I've never seen a car that fancy here in the drive-thru. I thought it was kind of funny. It's a little crazy driving it through here because it's so big. Let me show you what it looks like. So yeah, the hood on this is ginormous. As you can see, success. We made it through there. Didn't even bump a curb, so I'm pretty impressed with myself. I don't know exactly. You're gonna have to look it up. This car is like 18 feet long, and that was a pretty crazy tight drive-through. But I got a lot of experience in driving very large vehicles. Even though it's a new one to me, it wasn't terrible. It's just a little crazy because how much money this car costs. But we made it. We got coffee on our way back to the shop. Okay, went to the base, got coffee, back in the shop, but I want to show you how good the hutch looks next to the Rolls. Take a look at it. Now that just looks like it belongs with the Rolls, right? I would have brought it with me, and I tried. It just wouldn't fit in the car. So the GT Performer came along for a ride. But man, that hutch looks incredible. I wish I could put it in the car, go somewhere, and get some sick photos for you. But that's about the best I'm gonna do, is just show you what it looks like next to it, sitting here in the driveway. Welcome back. We're in the shop, and I'm working on the brand new Race Inc. RA20R. This is a brand new bike available right now through Race Inc. at abmxc.com. I picked up this bike and I wanted to show you what you can do with some simple bolt-on mods to give it that old school look. I didn't really change a whole lot on this bike, but the appearance I feel is completely different. Now, if you didn't have the trained eye and you didn't really know what to look for, you would think this is a late 70s, early 80s Race Inc. bike, which just is kind of mind-blowing because the company took that old school style, that retro look, and did an excellent job of carrying it over to a new platform. Well, I took that new platform and I wanted to bring it back a little bit and give it that 80s cool flair. So let's take a look. Okay, right up front, you're gonna notice some differences. I've added some pads, number plate, seat, grips, pedals, a whole new powertrain, and a few other little things. But I'm gonna go over that in detail in a minute, but I'm gonna tell you simply why I did this, because I love some of the new retro bikes, but I'm really rooted in the old school style. So now it's so compatible to just go buy parts off the shelf and pick and choose really what you want for looks because it's so available. The brand new retro parts that are out there are in abundance, and you're easily able to find them online through different places. And I was able to do that. A lot of these old school companies are still in business today, remaking the old school parts. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're exactly the same and you can't tell the difference. Some of these retro parts look like old school parts, but they're brand new. Maybe they use now sealed bearings instead of loose ball bearings, little upgrades to make them better, because that's part of the evolution of biking. The geometry might be a little bit different, but what I really like are the old school cues that are found on this bike, kind of as a paying tribute to the old ones, but giving it new school stuff like the 1 1/8 threadless stems and V brakes and the certain little changes that they did make to make the bike a little more better, actually a lot more better. But then I went and threw my style on it to give it old school. Let's go break it down and show you what I did. Okay, let's start off at the very top. I went and got some ODI mushroom grips, old school. Then added some black donuts on there. Might swap them out for blue later, but I don't know. Then I got a Jaguar rear brake cable, the Race Inc. number plate, and then we'll come around to the inside and you can see Race Inc. pad set for the crossbar, stem, and for the frame. Super, super cool. Now I didn't swap out the stem itself because, let me unvelcro this and show you. It is quite nice. Red anodized, marked with Race Inc. cap on there. It's just beautiful. So I left that alone. We'll go ahead and leave that off. And then we'll come around to the front. It's got a beautiful sealed bearing red anodized headset, so I left that. We work our way down to these beautiful red anodized rims with sealed bearing, high flange jelly bean cutout hubs that are marked with the Race Inc. logo on there, which is a nice touch. But what I did add are the red anodized acorn valve stem caps, giving it that old school look. I may in the future swap out these newer school tires for some maybe black knobby Comp 2s. All right, let's move to the big part. The MKS BM7 red anodized pedals and the Pro BMX 3-piece Sun Tour style crank set, which you can get from Australia, and they're quite nice. But what I had to do is swap out the bottom bracket as well. So I put the square taper sealed bearing bottom bracket in there and then topped this off with the black and chrome link chain. Moving around back, you can see the beautiful welds on the loop tail here. I didn't do anything back here. I even kept the V brakes that came with it because they're beautifully anodized red. I did keep the red anodized Race Inc. seat clamp. I did put a different seat post on it and added the Velo lightning bolt seat, which you can get now. These are brand new, and I've been putting them on a lot of bikes like the PK Ripper up there. That Redline has one, and a few other bikes in my collection have them. So that's it, very basic bolt-ons. I guess the biggest thing would be the crankset and pedals, the pads, and then just little touches like the valve stem caps, the grips, the brake cable. The original brake cable is red and it just didn't really flow with the style of the bike as much as the black did. The original grips are red and I just liked the black. The original seat is red, but again, I'm about the balance and I think it balanced out better with black tires, seat, and grips. If you agree, go ahead and comment down below and let me know what you think about that. But these are just simple bolt-ons that you can do. And this is a very, very affordable bike out of the box from Race Inc. I highly recommend anybody that wants a cool, extremely lightweight, aluminum framed, beautifully welded bike, grab yourself one of these and then put your personal touches on it just like we did back in the day, right? In the 80s, you'd go in and you'd buy parts like grips, valve stem caps, pedals, and the list goes on to make that bike personalized to you. So when I got this bike from Race Inc., I knew immediately I just wanted to put my simple spin on it, and I wanted to share that with you and just show you with a few things. Now I know the crankset, not everybody is able to just go ahead and swap out a crankset. It was very easy. Please trust me when I tell you, if you've never done one, it was quite easy to do. Have no fear, swap out that crankset because it gives it such a cool look. Every kid in the 80s wanted 3-piece cranks. If you had those, you were the cool kid on the block. 1-piece cranks were just kind of boring, and that's what this came with. They are strong. The red anodized chainring look good, but I think that looks rad. So anyway, I hope you like this very simple upgraded Race Inc. RA20R. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe. Thanks again for watching the video. And as always, stay rad.